Hey everyone, welcome into your Game 3 analysis for the Ottawa Senators and Montreal Canadiens. Going to the Game 3, the series is tied 1-1. I got the night off, so I'll be giving a more accurate, in-depth review of this game. This video will be a little different. Have to mention, before I get started, great tribute by the Senators to Mark Reed. He was their assistant coach, who passed away right before the playoffs. Send my condolences to his family, friends, and all the Sen staff who had the privilege of playing, working, or knowing him as a human being. Seemed like a real, genuine, good guy. And my prayers are with his family. The best thing the Sens could do going into this one was win the game for him. Now let's start breaking the game down. Price obviously with a start from Montreal, but Ottawa makes the switch in Game 3 and goes to Craig Anderson. I wish Ottawa would have rode Hammond out. He got them there, and he didn't play overly terrible in Game 2. But they're looking for a spark right now, and that's part of the reason he played. It's also part of the reason Chris Neil dressed, which I'll get to in a bit. Nothing but praise for that guy. Pretty quick first 10 minutes. Both teams hitting everything that moves. The crowd was right into it. Booing Subban every time he touched the puck. And getting on Carey Price, chanting, Carey, Carey, trying to throw him off his game. Subban takes a cross check, pretty dirty cross check that goes uncalled. A little bit of a make-up call there from the slash. I thought for sure it was leading to a penalty. The tempers were still flaring after that when Clark MacArthur opened scoring for Ottawa, with the assist going to Erik Karlsson and to Mark Stone. Or was it Mark Stone? Yep, Mark Stone. Despite the microfracture in his wrist there, he's actually playing fucking pretty good hockey, though, considering that. On to the X Factor. Chris Neil. Really smart call to put him in the lineup tonight. He was hitting everything with a heartbeat in the first. His forecheck was so good, too, banging into everything and fighting for the puck in the corners. Neil wasn't the only one getting into the hitting. Borowicki fucking killed Tom Gilbert. He kind of looked like he was going to, brush it off and not go in for the hit, but went for it and got the result he was looking for. Clark MacArthur took a hooking penalty at the 16:44 mark to give the Habs power play. Subban nearly tied it on the power play. Beat Anderson, but couldn't beat the post. Not much else was going on in the power play. Ottawa got it going after they killed it off. They were all over Montreal at the end of the first period. Neil had another great shift, laying the body, and almost tipped an Erik Karlsson shot to make it 2-0. That would have been huge if he got that. Anderson wasn't too busy in the first, but he looked poised in the net. On the shots he did face in the first after one, Ottawa led 1-0. They were outshot. Ottawa outshot Montreal 12-9 in this first, despite taking the only penalty. Ottawa hit the shit out of the Habs in the first too, 27-16. Karlsson had 5 hits in the first, and his career high is 6. I love the game he was playing. Fucking love it. Funny little stat to throw in here. Craig Anderson has better numbers in the playoffs than Carey Price. Believe it or not. Price's numbers haven't been near as good in the playoffs as they have been in the regular season. They've been good. Still an elite goaltender in the playoffs. Still maybe the best. But I was surprised when I looked it up to see that Anderson had better numbers. But I do remember Anderson playing well a couple years ago in previous series for Ottawa. All right, on to the second period. Second period starts with a careless penalty from Lars Eller. Ottawa was moving the puck well to start the power play, almost scoring, but the puck bounces over Ryan's stick on a nice pass by Churis. Ottawa's doing a good job of getting traffic in front of Price, but couldn't generate too many chances. Montreal killed off the penalty without much of a scare. Not long after that, Montreal got a nice scoring chance on a low blast by Petrie, perfectly set up by Pacioretty. He's been one of their best players in the game at this point. Petrie made a terrible turnover, though, at the other end, leading to a good scoring chance by Pajot. Then, not long after that, Eric Greiva gets called for holding, dragging Gallagher down in front of the net. Doesn't want him anywhere near Anderson. This power play was just fucking horrible by Montreal, though. Couldn't get in sync at all. Ottawa was still bullying them, even though they were a man short. Ottawa did a good job on the penalty kill of preventing Subban from unleashing that nasty one time. They were getting guys in the way and kind of blocking off his shooting angles. The hitting just keeps coming. Erik Karlsson fucking lined Boyu up and he fucking smoked him. Looked like a Scott Stevens type hit from Karlsson. Karlsson was playing like a man possessed. If he played like this every night, I think he'd be one of the most complete players in hockey. Not just an offensive juggernaut. That hit on Boyu tied his career high with 6 hits. It's enjoying to watch when he plays like this with this much heart and intensity. I'm sure Ottawa fans get excited too when he brings that kind of effort to the table. Everyone's hitting in this one though. Even Turris knocked down Price. Little from behind, but oh well. No call, I guess. Wasn't a dirty or deliberate check from behind by any means. It just kind of turned into him. Ottawa must like seeing that type of play out of Turris, though. Him getting in the corners, playing a little grittier. He needs to get in the dirty areas for Ottawa to have success, I feel. Around the 10-minute mark, Montreal put together their 2 best shifts, I thought, of the game early on. They were really cycling the puck well down low, but they couldn't get much toward the net. The pace was really quickening at this point. Neil's back out, and you can tell. Because when Neil's on the ice, you can hear the fucking board shaking. He's fucking literally hitting everything. You gotta love what that guy brings to the table on a nightly basis. You do. Not long after that, though, Kyle Turris took a holding penalty again, dragging down Gallagher in front of the Sens net. Sens were doing a good job, though. It's worth taking the 2 minutes to show them you're not going to let anyone get near Anderson. You got to protect your goalie in hockey. It's one of the most important things. And every time Gallagher got near that blue point paint, someone fucking grabbed him. The Montreal power play was just 1 for 6 going into the advantage. And nothing doing on the power play either. 0 for 3 on the game and now 1 for 7 in the series. Gallagher, Subban, and Galchenyuk play a little bit of tic-tac-toe after the power play. Almost ends up in the net, but it was a big stop by Anderson. Back and forth hockey near the end of the period. MacArthur had a great chance, but terrible timing there. He broke his stick. The period ends with Ottawa still up 1-0. The shots in the second were 19-6 for the Habs, and the hits were 47-26 for Ottawa after 2. Offsetting penalties to start the third. Who doesn't love a bit of 4-on-4 hockey, though? Back and forth 2 minutes. Ottawa got their best shift of the game, though, right after the 4-on-4. Karlsson had 2 or 3 good chances to put one in the net, but nothing happened really in that. The other way, Desharnais really putting in work, battling in the corner. He almost scored on a wraparound. Ottawa, yes, Calgary just scored. Fuck yeah. Ottawa answered back with another good shift. Tom Gilbert made 2 terrible turnovers. Could have been costly. Giving Ottawa a little more time on attack than they should have had in that sequence. With 12.5 to go, I was starting to think, fuck, Montreal's really got to get something going here. Mark Mathot headed to the room after blocking a shot. Would have been a big loss for Ottawa, but he's a tough customer and made his way back to the bench pretty much immediately after. The shift after, Milan McCulloch takes a fucking stupid penalty for Ottawa. But off the ensuing draw, Max Pacioretty gets called for a hold, so back to 4-on-4. Karlsson had a really nice rush up the ice, but and tried to set it in front, but no one could capitalize on it. Stone's definitely still hurting for sure. He only had attempted 1 shot in the regulation and it missed the net by a fucking quarter mile. However, at 80%, dressing Stone I still think is the right move. I think at 80% he's still better than anyone they could have called up at this point. And with the chemistry and everything he's got with the guys. If the kid wants to play, let him play, I think. Montreal starts to get rolling here, though. And they get a goal provided by Montreal's most unlikely player. most unlikely line, sorry. Dale Weiss got the goal from Preston Mitchell. Good move by Therrien to put them out and try and get the team going. But I don't even think he would have predicted they were going to put one in the net. I think he just wanted a good up-tempo shift, you know. Ottawa cannot afford to lose the game at this point. Chances of beating Carey Price 4 straight is near impossible. Pete Rose probably wouldn't even take those betting odds. Borowitzki took a penalty not long after for shooting the puck into the crowd. Ottawa killed the penalty, though, and for the second straight game, this series is heading to overtime. Shots in the third were 12-9 for Montreal, bringing the totals to Montreal 40, Ottawa 27. Ottawa's still killing in the hit department, though, tallying 57 to Montreal's 36. Great start to the overtime, too, by Ottawa. Pacioretty almost cost the Habs the game. He made a costly turnover to Stone. Wondering without that wrist if he could have maybe fucking put that in the net. Not making excuses. I'm not even a Sens fan, so I don't care. But yeah, Stone, he got a lot on that shot, though, considering the wrist injury. But there wasn't any traffic, and you're not going to beat Carey Price like that. But yeah, it's all Ottawa in the first few minutes. They were really going for it. Good bounce back shift, too, by Max Pacioretty. Anderson robbed him twice there, though. 5 minutes into overtime, and Subban had already logged 30 minutes of ice time. Got me thinking, if this game goes 2 or 3 overtimes, like, that man's going to be dead. He's going to have no energy left for the remainder of this series. Then a scary moment for Ottawa as Lazar takes a penalty at the worst time you can possibly take a penalty. Lucky for him, Ottawa managed to kill it off, and he looked like he was going into cardiac arrest in the penalty box there. Carlson tried to win the game not long after that, but Ottawa can't get any traffic in front of Price. Then, unfortunately for Ottawa, going the other way, Dale Weiss ends the game with a short side shot. Anderson probably shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Coulda had it. And Montreal goes up 3-0 in the series, and now the odds are really against them. The most unlikely guy, too, in Dale Weiss. But when you're on a cup run, you need guys like that, guys like him, to have games like that. Kind of sounds like an Eric Church fucking line. But yeah, so at the end, Montreal 3-0, like I said. At the end of the game, the shots were. Where is it here? 49 to 34. And despite Ottawa out hitting the shit out of Montreal, 61 to 36 were the final hit totals. Having a good night in the face-off circle, they find themselves down 3-0 to the best goalie in hockey. Stranger things have happened, but it's going to be hard to come back in this one for sure. They might win one game, though. They might win their next game in Ottawa. It's a must-win. Backs to the wall. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not looking good for them. Let me know what you guys think of the game and on the series. Thanks for the watch. I hope you enjoyed it.